Most families who keep a few chickens at home run into the same moment. One morning, you collect eggs, and there are fewer than usual. So you do what almost everyone does. You wonder if the feed is the problem. Maybe the brand isn't good enough anymore. Maybe the chickens need more protein, so you make another trip to the feed store, another bag, another expense. And it slowly becomes normal to think, keeping chickens just costs money. But what if the problem isn't the feed at all? What if the problem is the way we've been taught to keep chickens? Because chickens weren't meant to live on store-bought feed. They were meant to feed themselves. And when you let them do that, they lay better eggs, stay healthier, and cost far less to keep. Today, I want to show you how to turn your own garden into free chicken feed, all year long. From a biological standpoint, chickens are active omnivorous foragers. In natural or semi-wild conditions, their diet typically looks like this: 30 to 50% protein, mainly from insects, larvae, worms, and grubs, 30 to 40% greens, including grass tips, leaves, weeds, and plant matter, 10 to 20% energy foods, such as whole seeds, grains, and fallen fruit. This pattern has been consistently documented in free-range poultry studies and behavioral research. What chickens did not evolve to eat is finely ground, heat-processed grain pellets. Processed feed supplies calories, but it removes enzyme activity, dietary diversity, and natural foraging behavior. The birds may feel full, but they are not biologically well-nourished. That's why chickens raised primarily on commercial feed often show paler yolks, weaker immune systems, lower egg quality, higher long-term health stress. This is what the original transcript refers to as dead processed grain. That term isn't poetic. It's biologically accurate. Can chickens balance their own diet? Yes, but only under the right conditions. When chickens have access to diverse foods, freedom to choose, and unrestricted eating time, they naturally self-regulate. Behavioral feeding studies show that chickens eat more insects when protein is low, increase green intake when minerals are lacking, reduce grain consumption once energy needs are met. This principle is the foundation of the Worthington feeding method. Instead of controlling how much chickens eat, you control what they can access. In practice, a mature hen consumes on average about 128 grams, 4.5 ounces, of whole wheat per day, about 14 grams, 0.5 ounces, of a high-protein supplement, such as fish meal or soy meal. The rest of the diet comes from foraging. Compared to confinement feeding, this approach reduces grain use by 40 to 60%, without reducing egg production. System 1. The chicken tractor. The first system is the chicken tractor. At its core, it's extremely simple. A chicken tractor is a mobile, floorless chicken run placed directly on top of a garden bed. No concrete, no permanent foundation, no machinery, just a wooden frame and wire. And that simplicity is exactly what makes it powerful. For a gardener, the chicken tractor isn't really about chickens. It's about timing biological work, so it happens exactly where and when you need it, right before planting. Here's how it works. About 1 to 2 months before planting, you sow a fast-growing grazing crop. Rye is ideal. It germinates quickly, tolerates poor or compacted soil, produces dense green growth, and most importantly, chickens actively seek it out. Once the crop is established, you place the chicken tractor over the bed. For the next 2 to 3 weeks, the chickens perform 4 critical gardening jobs at the same time. First, they eat insects, including adults, larvae, and eggs already in the soil, the exact pests that would later damage young plants. Second, they eat weeds, not just visible weeds, but dormant weed seeds at the soil surface. Constant scratching exposes and consumes those seeds before they ever sprout. Third, they eat the grazing crop itself. That green biomass becomes chicken feed instead of something you have to mow or turn under. And fourth, they manure the soil. A single adult chicken produces roughly 80 to 100 grams of manure per day. With 5 to 6 chickens over 2 weeks, That equals 2 to 3 kilograms of organic fertilizer, evenly distributed through movement and scratching. This isn't surface dumping, it's incorporation. Scratching mixes manure into the topsoil, improves aeration, and activates microbial life. From a labor standpoint, this replaces multiple manual steps. Hand weeding typically removes 70 to 80% of weeds. Chickens routinely reach 95% or more because they don't miss small seeds or hidden growth. Hand-applied fertilizer often sits unevenly. Chicken manure ends up exactly where roots will grow. After 2 or 3 weeks, you move the tractor to the next prepared bed. What's left behind is soil, that is, fertilized, largely weed-free, biologically active, already loosened. You don't need to till. You don't need heavy amendments. You plant directly into it. And this is the key point. The chicken tractor isn't just feeding chickens. It's capturing fertility and placing it exactly where the garden needs it, right before planting. Instead of losing nutrients to runoff or exporting them to a compost pile, you cycle them through the birds and return them directly to the soil. For the gardener, that means fewer inputs, less labor, and healthier beds. For the chickens, it means real food, constant activity, and a diet aligned with their biology. That's why the chicken tractor works. Not because it's clever, but because it lets living systems do work more efficiently than tools ever could. And once you understand that principle, the next systems become much easier to understand. System 2. The Balfour Rotation Method. The second system solves a different problem. It handles daily feeding, outside the garden beds. Chickens don't spend all day in the chicken tractor, so they need a system that feeds them continuously, without destroying the land. That's what the Balfour rotation method does. It uses 3 zones: 1 scratching yard, 2 grazing pens. The grazing pens are planted with grass, clover, and herbs. Chickens graze 1 pen for 2 to 3 weeks, while the other pen rests and regrows. Then the birds are rotated. That rest period is critical. Grass recovers quickly when given time, and clover is especially important. Clover fixes nitrogen from the air, stores it in the soil, and regrows aggressively after grazing. That's why clover-based systems can handle repeated use without collapsing. Here's the detail most people miss. The grazing pens work because chickens do most of their scratching somewhere else. That's the role of the scratching yard. The scratching yard is filled with organic material: kitchen scraps, garden waste, straw, grass clippings, spoiled hay. Chickens spend hours each day scratching through this material. Technically, this does 3 things at once. First, it aerates the pile, accelerating microbial activity. Second, it provides a constant supply of insects and larvae for protein. Third, it mixes manure evenly throughout the material. Every few weeks, this becomes compost. Not passive compost, but active, biologically rich compost. A small flock of 6 to 10 chickens can process nearly all household organic waste, producing finished compost in 3 to 6 weeks. From a gardener's perspective, this is a major advantage. Food waste turns into soil fertility. Garden waste disappears instead of piling up. And compost production happens automatically, without extra labor. Once again, the chickens are feeding themselves on grass, insects, and scraps, while producing something valuable for the garden. They're not just consuming resources, they're transforming them. That's the real purpose of the Balfour rotation method. It creates a self-sustaining loop where chickens, plants, and soil support each other every day, without feed bags, without constant replanting, and without wasted effort. And with daily feeding handled, the final piece becomes timing, using chickens where they do the most good during the quiet months of the year. That leads directly to the third system. System 3. Orchard access. The third system works differently from the first 2. Instead of relying on structures or daily rotation, this system relies on timing. Many of the most damaging fruit tree pests don't live on the tree year-round. They overwinter as larvae or pupae in the soil, leaf litter, and mulch around the base of the tree. That's where next season's problems are hiding. During winter, when fruit trees are dormant, chickens are allowed into the orchard. They scratch the soil surface, they break apart leaf litter, and they actively hunt larvae and insects that would otherwise survive until spring. Biologically, this is extremely effective. Overwintering larvae are slow, they can't escape, and chickens are relentless. At the same time, chickens consume fallen fruit left from the previous season. This matters because fallen fruit often carries insect eggs and fungal spores. By removing it, chickens reduce disease pressure before the growing season even begins. As they move, they also lightly fertilize the root zone. Unlike concentrated manure applications, this fertilization is spread out and gentle, exactly what perennial trees prefer during dormancy. Multiple farm trials and small-scale orchard studies show that winter poultry access can reduce pest pressure by 60 to 90% in the following season. That's not treatment. That's prevention. Instead of reacting to pests after they appear, you remove them before they ever reach the canopy. But timing is critical. Chickens must be removed in early spring, before buds begin to swell. At that stage, birds will peck at tender growth, damaging flower buds and reducing yields. Chickens must also be kept out during summer, when fruit is ripening. They don't recognize harvest timing, and if fruit is available, they will eat it. Used incorrectly, orchard access causes damage. Used correctly, it replaces sprays with biology. For gardeners, this system matters because it reduces pest controls, breaks pest life cycles early, and improves soil without disturbing tree roots. Most importantly, it turns winter, normally the garden's quietest season, into a productive one. While plants rest, chickens work. They feed themselves, protect trees, and improve soil. No sprays, no traps, no extra labor. Just timing. Combined with the chicken tractor in the growing season and the Balfour rotation for daily feeding, this creates a complete year-round system. Each part works when it's needed most, eliminating feed costs, not by forcing chickens, but by placing them where they naturally belong in the garden ecosystem. The seasonal flow. This system works because it follows the seasons. Spring, plant grazing crops, establish grass pens, build the tractor. Summer, rotate the tractor, graze pens, plant vegetables. Fall, continue rotation, build soil. Winter, orchard access, pest reduction. Nothing is forced. Everything follows biological timing.